Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. We are honored to have Kimberly here with Java Joy that we have recently partnered with, and she will be telling you all about what they are offering Focus and the community around us. So please welcome Kimberly.
Hello, everybody. Thank you, Jade, for introducing me. I am so excited to be talking to you all today about the Focus partnership with Java Joy. And I just want to introduce myself a little bit more. I've got an older brother who's on the autism spectrum. I've been in this nonprofit world for about 7 years now, and I actually intern with Focus. So Focus is near and dear to my heart. So is ESP and Java Joy. So this is a really great collaboration, and I'm excited to tell you all about it. So Extra Special People is a nonprofit that was founded in 1986 out in Watkinsville, Georgia. They are very similar to Focus in the fact that they support families with children with disabilities. They have 3 entities that they currently support. Their 360 program, which provides enrichment. That's their after-school programs, their family support. We support Java Joy in engaging the community. And Camp Hooray is their future overnight camp, which is going to provide experiences for all of their families. So what we're here for Java Joy. So Java Joy is a mobile coffee cart program that offers opportunities of employment for individuals with disabilities all across the community. Java Joy is amazing. It stole my heart about a year or so ago, and our Joyristas are a barista that give a lot of joy. So a little timeline for you and a little bit of back history. In 2013 at ESP Summer Camp, they saw a huge need for including the adults in their program with more vocational skills. So they put up a cart, they called it the Bouncing Bean, and they started handing coffee cups and delivering coffee to parents as they dropped off their campers every morning. Flash forward about 3 years, in December of 2016, the executive director of ESP, Laura Whitaker, decided that they could do more with the Bouncing Bean. So they launched a Kickstarter and hired 5 Joyristas. In 2017 in Athens, they had over 100 bookings that year. In 2019, they got a call from a business partner who said, "We need Java Joy. How can we get it in our city?" So they expanded all the way out west to San Francisco and brought the Joy and the Joyristas out there. And as of this year, we now have 19 Joyristas. So again, looping it all back to why we're here now, COVID happened, but we pivoted. Java Joy did a miraculous job at implementing virtual employment for their Joyristas, because Erica is our national expansion coordinator. She always jokes that they were crazy to continue a hugging business in the middle of COVID, because Java Joy's theme is coffee, hugs, and joy. So pivoting for COVID, they began to offer virtual employment in the form of Joygrams and Joy Starters. Joygrams are 2-minute long snippets that a Joyrista can film and send somebody a happy birthday message or a congratulations message. And Joy Starters are similar to what we're doing right now on a call for a business meeting. Our Joyristas can join in and provide joy for those meetings. So now we're about to launch in Atlanta in October, so exciting. And we're also actually launching in Rome. So if you have any friends that live out in Rome too that would be interested in Java Joy, let them know that it's coming. So parents and caregivers that are in this meeting, or someone that knows a person with disability, the statistic probably doesn't surprise you. However, I'm going to read it to you anyway. It's from the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics. In 2019, the unemployment population ratio for persons with a disability was 80.7%. Persons with a disability were much less likely to be employed than those with no disability. So as I mentioned earlier, I have an older brother who's on the spectrum. I have experienced time and time again him trying to apply for a job and being turned away because he didn't fit the right mold. Java Joy doesn't care if they fit a mold, if they don't fit a mold. Java Joy accepts everybody for who they are and allows them to be themselves. It's feeling value, feeling needed. That's what Java Joy is providing. So as I said, our success is our Joyristas, giving them that value, giving them that need of having a job, going to work, and fulfilling meaningful interactions. So Java Joy's vision is that we envision a world where every person of every ability in every community has universal access to transformative experiences. I feel like even now, even in COVID, even pre-COVID, we just crave that connection, that joy, and getting a cup of coffee from a Joyrista, hopefully getting a hug or an air hug, and just having that meaningful connection can change your whole entire day. It's the cup of coffee that you didn't know you needed. It's the interaction with a Joyrista that you didn't know you needed, and it provides this meaningful interaction for everybody. So how do we do it? You might ask. Some of you might already know. We have a mobile coffee cart. We come to you. We come to a business, we come to a school or a neighborhood, and we provide our coffee. We have hot coffee, iced coffee. In the wintertime, we even do hot chocolate. So those are our number one things, our mobile coffee cart events. Our second is our virtual employment, which I already touched on a little bit, providing the Joy Starters and the Joy Grams. Shipping shifts, we sell swag, as I like to call it, or merchandise like t-shirts and coffee mugs. And so our Joyristas have the opportunity to ship and package and send out any orders that we might get, as well as public speaking hours. So we partner with the AmeriCorps, and we have 2 AmeriCorps leaders that are going to be working in Atlanta. They are providing 6 community events and 6 vocational events. So each month your Joyrista can have an opportunity to grow in their vocational experience, in their social and community engagement, and learn things like resume writing, how to make a LinkedIn page, even money management, and then social events as well. So the more bookings or events we have, the more hours we're able to offer our Joyristas. Pretty simple. And this past year, Java Joy switched to an educational nonprofit. So now not only are we able to employ our Joyristas, we're also educating everyone around us in the population to further our community and our workforce. It's just getting the word out there that we are inclusive, we're diverse, that we're not asking people with disabilities to fit into a mold. We're asking them to just show their abilities, people of all abilities who are just magnificent. So it is in itself a joyful experience. We are providing diversity and inclusion, workforce development, like I said, with our AmeriCorps training, and engagement with people of all abilities. I love this quote. I can read it out loud. I'm sure you all can read it as well, but I went to grab a cup of coffee and walked away with so much more. The hugs I received made my day. They couldn't have had a better name. So much joy. There is a science behind physical touch and getting a hug and how much a person craves that. And so we really hope one day to post-COVID be able to give those hugs again if people want them. But for now, we're just going to continue with air hugs. So here are a few pictures of our Joyristas in action. And look at all the joy that is there, that is spread. We've got some in Athens, some in San Francisco, and it's just beautiful to see how much we've grown and how much we're going to continue to grow in Atlanta. So what we're here for, you want to know the responsibilities and requirements of becoming a Joyrista. I'll start with the requirements first. They must be at least 18 years of age, have a high school certificate of completion or diploma, a GED, just no longer in school, having reliable, consistent transportation, maintaining personal hygiene and be toilet independent. We can caveat with the toilet independent that we can have a separate conversation if you feel that's necessary. And prepare and serve at events, brewing coffee. So we don't just let our Joyristas hand someone a cup of coffee. We are here to teach them the science behind coffee making, learning about the beans, how they get roasted, how they get grinded up, and the true facts behind coffee making. They're going to learn so much about coffee. I've already learned so much about coffee. It's a beautiful experience. Loading event supplies, customer service, cleaning up, air hugs, and other needs as assigned. What are the parent and caregiver responsibilities? The biggest one being providing the transportation at our various event locations. Transportation is very important for our Joyristas, making sure that they can arrive to their shift on time, helping ensure that they maintain their job responsibilities and meeting minimal requirements. We've had some Joyrista parents ask for homework, if you will. What can they be working on? Things like their customer service, saying enjoy, and other things like that, and maintaining the weekly schedule. So the weekly schedule is sent out based upon parent request and Joyrista availability. On our application to become a Joyrista, there is a whole section on Sunday through Saturday, dates and times that that the Joyrista would be available to attend a shift, and weekly schedules get sent out once a week. Just know that the involvement of a parent, a caregiver, a job coach is just so pivotal for our Joyristas to feel included and involved and to maintain some stability and consistency. So now let's meet a Joyrista. I think he might be on the call, or I might have to FaceTime. He's in Athens. I definitely can't see him because I've got my presentation up. So Erica, I'm gonna FaceTime you. And see. Thanks, everyone. Hey, Nikki. I'm going to turn you. Everyone, this is Nikki.
Hi. How you doing?
Oh, Nikki, would you like to tell everyone in this group how long you've been a Joyrista? Let's start there.
It all started in 2016.
In 2016. Great. And what's your favorite part about being a Joyrista?
My favorite part of being a Joyrista is bringing joy to everybody, including customers too.
Of course.
And you might know me as the coffee fair.
I was just about.
Orders and deliveries.
And you fly them around.
Every time I make those orders and deliveries, I like to spread my wings and fly.
Yes. Nikki, how do you take your coffee?
I take it really good when I serve to people.
And what do you say?
My special blend.
Oh, yes. Tell them.
It's on that and vanilla.
Oh.
I call it a Nikki special, and it gives it a bit of strobe energy in that body to keep you percolating too.
There you go. So, Nikki, we're meeting with some parents who might want their children to be a Joyrista. What would you tell them about being a Joyrista?
Wow. How I can tell them how to be a Joyrista is to make sure you, be responsible, and then set a goal, and then make sure you put a smile on when you see customers up in the front.
That's great.
You gotta wake up early.
You do have to wake up early. All right.
Because I've done it a few times because I love waking up early.
And Nikki, do you have anything else you want to say to these parents about being a Joyrista?
Being a Joyrista makes me feel happy. And I like to wake up strong for it too. And I bring everybody joy.
Yes, you do. All right. Thanks so much, Nikki. Bye. All right. So that was one of our Athens Joyristas. I hope that gave you a little bit of insight to how much he loves his job. He loves bringing joy and making his Nikki special, as he calls it. Last but not least, I would like to point out that Donna is an Athens Joyrista, and this was her first job. She's in her mid-50s, had never had a job before, and so I always like to tell people who are interested in being a Joyrista, you do not have to have any experience. You don't have to know anything about coffee. We are there to help and to train and to encourage. So we offer employment of a lifetime for a lifetime. And that's what I have for you. So now we're gonna go to a Q&A session. So I'm gonna escape and stop sharing my screen. Okay, hopefully that worked. Okay, so if everybody knows, you can put your questions into the live Q&A portion, and I'm happy to answer anything that any parents might have to ask. If everybody knows how to use the Q&A session, there's a thing at the bottom that has a little question mark. Great, awesome question. So someone said, is this a paid position? Yes, we do offer paid positions. If this is something that your Joyrista is interested in and we follow through and do the application process, we do part-time payment, and so none of our Joyristas are full-time, and we can discuss hourly rates. Can a person with a physical disability be a Joyrista? Absolutely. We have 2 Joyristas that are in wheelchairs. All of our carts are wheelchair accessible, and we have 3 different job positions, and so whatever fits best for them can happen. Thankful for JavaJoy and you, Kimberly. Thanks, Joy. Happy you're here. Yes, we do accommodate Joyristas in wheelchairs. So like I said, we have our coffee cart has a ramp that is wheelchair accessible, and they can get up in the cart. All of our new carts, Atlanta's gonna have new carts, and they're gonna be beautiful and stunning with AC and heat, and that will be accommodating. Are rides available if we cannot take people to all events? So pre-COVID, actually out in Athens, they were allowing managers and AmeriCorps leaders to pick up and take Joyristas to events if they needed it. I think during COVID, we've pivoted and tried to make it a little bit safer, but if that's a one-on-one conversation that we could have about helping with rides, and the family is okay with it, I think that should be okay. I'll have to make sure with my manager. Where in ATL are you first going to start? Great question. Our launch week is October 19th, and we are currently in the process of booking multiple businesses, neighborhoods, so we don't have a set schedule yet. We are just getting the word out and hopefully going to be all over from Buckhead to Alpharetta. Okay, so there are 2 questions about impacting SSI benefits, and we can coordinate with our HR person that it will not impact any disability or SSI benefits that are given. it's just on the parent or the caretaker to take care of the logistics behind that a little bit, making sure and calculating that your Joyrista doesn't go over a certain amount of money per month, and we can certainly go over that with our HR. So we do have current Joyristas that get SSI benefits and are still paid by Java Joy. What kinds of places does your mobile cart serve? We have served weddings and funerals, businesses, whether they're small or corporate, schools, neighborhoods. Hopefully in Atlanta, we can go to some parks or ballparks. What does a typical shift with Java Joy look like? Okay, there's 2 questions in this. And how long are they? So we do events that are based around 90 minutes, but with setup and going and a little bit of cleanup, probably around 2 hours for a Joyrista. A typical shift right now for COVID is we keep the Joyrista in the cart with their mask on, their gloves. We have a little mini cart that sits right outside the coffee truck itself, and myself, our development coordinator, Sydney, who's in Atlanta, or 2 AmeriCorps leaders will be the in-between person, grabbing the cup of coffee from the Joyrista and handing it to the customer to minimize that interaction. And we request that everybody wears masks and gloves when they come. Well, our Joyristas wear gloves and participants wear masks. How many Joyristas am I looking to employ? As many as possible. We're hoping to really launch Atlanta and grow big. So right now I don't really have a cap. My son has food issues. Are there food items on the cart? If we did have food, it would possibly be a Chick-fil-A biscuit. And if that's something that we needed to pivot for the Joyrista to make sure that they didn't have interaction with it, then we could certainly make that happen. But other than that, other than Chick-fil-A biscuits, potentially, as of right now, we're working on getting multiple types of breakfast, hopefully, and if the food issues are a complication, we can ensure that that doesn't interact. Will there be a live list where you will be day by day so consumers might be sure to visit that? Okay, yeah, so our Facebook page is probably going to be the best way to figure out where we're going to be, where we're going to be set up. So making sure that that gets updated will be my responsibility, and I will make sure that everybody knows Java Joy is going to be at the bank tomorrow or at Piedmont Park the next day. So we'll make sure that consumers are sure to visit with a lot of social media presence.
Kimberly, one question was, how does a person apply to be a Joyrista?
A person can apply by emailing me. My email is, I can type it in here, I'll also say it out loud. My email is kimberly@javajoy.org. Email me, we can set up an initial phone call. That's kind of the first step to make sure that this is all good. Second step is filling out the application that I will send over and doing a Zoom interview or an in-person if the family feels okay with it, and then we can talk logistics from there. What is the training like? So a Joyrista goes through 5 shifts of training. And I don't know if you're talking about Joyrista training or if you're talking about AmeriCorps training, so I will try to cover both. A Joyrista training is they do 5 shifts of each different position. I am unsure if you all have seen the handout that I gave to Focus, but we have a Joy Giver, a Joy Maker, and a Joy Expander, and they can go through each of those positions. The Joy Maker is kind of the one that is in charge of the copy. The Joy Giver is the one who does more of the people interactions, and the Joy Expander is a person who hands out our heart cards, our business cards, kind of towards the end of the event. And each Joyrista will go through 5 different training sessions, as I said, and they'll get to The first 3, they get to try out each different position. Then we do a white coat ceremony. So training, they get a blue apron. And then at our final one, and they've attended, this will be their 5th event, they get to do a white apron ceremony and invite whoever, like a parent or a caregiver or a special friend, to put their new white apron on, ensuring that they're a Joyrista. So that's kind of the steps. We, for AmeriCorps training, for vocational stuff, that'll just be planned monthly. So there will be monthly activities for vocational opportunities and monthly activities for social engagement. I hope that answered your question. What should a Java Joy candidate know / have prepared for an interview? I love doing interviews and just getting to know the potential Joyrista. Honestly, just being themselves is the biggest thing for me. I love getting to know them because I'm going to be spending time with them. So I really don't think anything super special. Just telling me things that they like to do, things that they enjoy, things that they personally don't like to do also are important for me to know. How old they are, if they have any job experience, and what they might look for, what their favorite part about being a Joyrista, if they had the opportunity, would be.
Thank you, Kimberly. If anyone else has any other burning questions, now would be the time to put them in the Q&A while we have Kimberly to answer all of our questions.
I will say that I've had some people ask me about time commitment. As Nikki said, he gets up really early, so some of these events that we will have will be early in the morning, so understanding that something might happen super early and you might have to be up with your Joyrista at 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning to be somewhere, so making sure that you understand the time commitment as well.
Well, Kimberly, it doesn't look like we have any questions. That is solely due to you giving our family so much information today, and we greatly appreciate it.
Of course.
We appreciate all the opportunity that Java Joy is not only that Focus can help with, but our community as well.
Yeah, I'm really excited. Again, if there's something that maybe you didn't think of or you think of it after we hang up from this call, please feel free to email me. I'm available to answer any questions. And I hope that you sign up your child to be a Joyrista. It's going to be great.
Awesome, Kimberly. Thank you all so much for your time today. We appreciate you.
Thank you so much. I hope everybody has a joyful day.